Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon, where I'll be talking about the movies, of course, TV shows, merchandising, theme parks, I don't know, whatever the case may be. If it's related to Disney in any shape or form, then yes, of course, I'll be talking about it. So I just figured I'll be responding to this, this podcast thing that, with the Sony division, I spoke about before, of course, and it's of course supposed to be part of this podcast show that this individual had done, of course, and I'll give you a bit more idea of what I'm talking about. This individual wonders if the company Walt Disney, not maybe not the man per se, maybe in some relations maybe, but kind of referring to the Disney company in a more modern day era, because he's wondering if if the family friendly roots had been lost. Yeah, as stupid as that sounds. But I mean, again, what works back then may not work now because things change. You can still aim for the family. It's just not gonna be exactly the same like it was before. So I don't know what this dude is expecting really. Anyway, let's just get into it. I guess it's so asinine.
Welcome back to the program. It's a pleasure to be with you, and always a pleasure to talk to our friend Christian Toto, the host of the Hollywood and Toto podcast. Hey, Christian, welcome back.
Oh, thanks for having me back.
Merry Christmas in advance as we head toward the end of this year. I guess I just have to keep canceling streaming services left and right. I've already canceled Disney Plus, but
I would mention that Christmas is not a Christian holiday, but I've talked about it so many times. I just no, I don't feel like it. And not only that, well, of course, because of the fact that you cancel Disney Plus, I don't care. I really do not care. I genuinely do not care. You're still making a lot of money even without your help. So that kind of doesn't mean anything when you think about it. But okay,
it's and I've already canceled Netflix and the rest of that. But when I read about what these companies are doing, it's almost as though they're trying to run themselves into the ditch. The latest being Disney Plus.
who is this they? Who are they you're referring to exactly? That's way too much of a general consensus here. Is that? That's way too general when you think about it. But okay.
Grabbing onto a show I never really got. I watched it a few times, but in the original Doctor Who, but I never really got into it. And there are some people who are very, very enamored of Doctor Who. But now Disney has decided to ruin Doctor Who as well as all the other things they.
Okay, they didn't ruin Doctor Who, but for further context, I know they're not going to explain it, not really. Well, if they are, it's going to be done in a poorly way. But I've heard this before that the modern day Doctor Who has been ruined because the whole thing with DEI, yes, diversity, it's gone woke. And that's what he's complaining about. That right there is too woke right now. Just that's it really. Just because we're having diversity, even though Doctor Who already had that kind of thing before.
Lately.
Well, I think Disney is caught because the brand is supposed to be family friendly and G-rated and sweet and for everyone. And I think in recent years they've been expanded. They've got some parts, I guess you could say, verticals in their business that are more mature minded.
Okay, I'm not seeing the complaint here really, even though you're making a complaint. What's the complaint? Okay, they're trying to diversify the stuff. So what?
Or more for adults, not kids. And so now they've got this Doctor Who special, which there's a baby eating musical number that is focused on in the program. And again, you got to figure out who you are, what you want to be. Do you want to be just for G-rated all family members, or do you want to be something that's a little darker, a little more cutting edge? So I think they're
Something wicked this way comes. Look that movie up. That was directed by a Disney company. Well, technically, someone from the Disney company, technically, not. But that was a pretty dark movie, a really dark film. So Disney has gone really dark before. So again, what the hell are you talking about? What?
in Disney's mild defense. I think they're caught there, but I also think they should be more straightforward and transparent in what they want to do. So that's what's happening. I don't know much about the show. It sounds absurd. I mean, Doctor Who just sounds as woke as possible. What?
Yep, there you go. I knew it. Of course. So what if you want to have diversity? So what? And Doctor Who already had diversity. That was already there. What are you talking about? This is like the whole Star Wars thing all over again. It was already political from the very get-go.
not a fan, but just hearing these headlines makes you almost want to laugh.
Well, and
So
just so
that's what we
people
are.
understand, you're not overstating it. When they say this is the episode in which they have a baby that's put on a conveyor belt, it's a cartoon show. So it's clearly aimed at kids, although some cartoon shows are aimed at adults. But the baby's put on a conveyor belt headed toward a giant monster to be eaten, and the surrounding goblins sing a song, and they have the lyrics of it, about their love for eating babies.
What about it? Seriously, what about this woke stuff that makes it suck? Be specific. How? How? How is it sucking? You just complain that, oh no, diversity.
And it's just, could you imagine anything more anti-original Disney than that?
Stop living the past. Seriously, stop living the past, and that's what you're doing here.
Hey, listen, maybe they are the winners. We don't in their defense. Listen, it's crazy, but this is where we are right now. And then,
What's so crazy? No, seriously, what is crazy? Okay, that comes off really condescending. That comes off like gaslighting, so to speak. What specifically is gaslighting? What? What exactly? What are you talking about here? What?
when these things hit the web, they go viral, and people talk about it and are outraged. So it's just crazy. But again, it's the Disney. I think this just falls perfectly in line with the fact that Disney is in trouble. They seem to have a split personality. They seem to want to make all the money.
What does that mean? So the Disney company has a split personality. What does that mean exactly? What? How? Oh, okay, whatever.
All people, and yet at the same time, they're producing content that is not for all people, and yet they cling to the Disney brand. It's really confusing. And
What is so confusing? No, seriously, what? You still didn't explain anything. What is so confusing about diversity? What?
I think it gets more ominous when you've got kiddie programming, films and TV shows that are directly aimed at little minds, and then they introduce some more adult themes or sexuality where the kids aren't ready for that. I mean,
Again, what are you talking about? The kids are not ready for that. For different sexualities. What are you talking about? Of course, going to put up the argument. Think of the children.
I'm much more concerned about that, honestly. I mean,
Well,
eating babies is gross and it's weird and it's not for kids, but
You realize that there are kids out there who already know that they were gay? That's already a thing with a lot of them. They already discovered that. So what are you talking about?
I find that more offensive, honestly.
well, in fact, a friend of mine who actually mostly is a tax advocate, but he points out, I understand that in a lot of Hansel and Gretel popular fairy tales,
Christ, this entire thing reminds me of another really stupid thing that was mentioned. Oh, case in point.
Breaking gay news. You need to watch this.
Did you say that exposure to pesticides causes children to become transgender?
No, I never said that.
Okay, I have the record that I'll give to the chairman.
If you put atrazine in a tank full of frogs, it will chemically castrate and forcibly feminize every frog. The male frog turn into fully viable females. If it's doing that to frogs, it's doing it to human beings.
Houston, we have the beef. I am starving. I need some Wendy's. I'm not waiting in that line. Now it's time for the food review. We got the square patty. Woo, going in. I mean, come on, it's Wendy's. It's gonna be good every time. My favorite, the fries. Come on, it's amazing. And the strawberry frosty to wash it down. Houston, we have a problem. Wendy's is the best food I've ever had, and I love Italian food.
Okay, the whole last bit with Wendy's has nothing to do with it. It's just that this entire thing is so asinine. Whatever. Let's finish up, shall we? Because it's just as stupid like saying being straight is a sin. Like straight sex is bad. Blah 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 blah. And I could come up with a bunch of absurd reasoning to back this up. Even though at the end of the day, being straight sex and gay sex, whatever, it's just getting intimate with somebody at the end of the day. So what? I don't see what the big deal is exactly, but okay, whatever.
Hansel and Gretel in the originals had the eating of babies too, but
Yeah.
I think there were and frankly if you go back and read some of the original fairy tales like Sleeping Beauty, it wasn't a kiss that the prince woke her up with in the original tales way back when.
Beauty and Beast story has been adapted over 100 times. Same with Alice in Wonderland. So what's your point? The public domain at this point when you think about it.
We'll leave the rest off because we're a family show. But I,
Hmm.
I don't understand why there are lots and lots of companies that do things like you make automobiles. So if you want to buy an average car, you buy a Toyota. You want to buy the
I know he's trying to use this as an allegory of somehow, but it just doesn't make any sense. Again, people exist, so what?
version, buy the Lexus, made by the same company, different kind of product. That when it comes to entertainment, I have to imagine of companies in the film business or in the media business who say, oh, this is our sort of artsy end of our film business, and then this other.
It's so ridiculous. Okay, Disney wants to represent people. So what? What exactly is the problem, really? What is it?
One does action films. Some of them divide those things up so that you can have the right people working on the right things. And yet, in this case, Disney says, no, it's all just Disney and it's all for kids. And we're
Again, what's the problem exactly? You can have a gay character in a kids movie. What's the issue? You still didn't explain nothing.
babies. That doesn't make sense.
And also, if you look at other parts of Disney Plus, they'll have a warning label on Dumbo or other classic cartoons saying the cultural mores shown here are problematic or triggering. So it is funny what they find triggering, what they don't find triggering.
I mean, okay, yes, they shouldn't have given a warnings, because that's stupid. But what does this have to do with having gay characters? What are you talking about?
I got to tell you something, Christian. You just reminded me of something I saw a couple of weeks ago because I wanted my granddaughter to watch "It's a Wonderful Life." Now, a bunch of it is a little bit beyond her, but an awful lot of it. It's a sweet movie. I've loved the movie for a long time. Do you know on Amazon Prime, which is one of the few streaming services I still have,
Again, we're talking about 50 different subject matters. Can we just stick to one thing? You keep talking about different stuff here, alright?
they have a warning at the beginning of "It's a Wonderful Life"?
No, no.
I'm not kidding
What does it
because
say?
it was burned into my brain because I thought a warning. There was a warning on it. It said this film contains profanity,
What the hell are you talking about? Content warning is nothing new. That's always been a thing.
sexual situations, smoking, and it was one other. And I was like, "Are you kidding?"
This is so monotonous. How is having a content warning on anything a proof to back up what you're saying? What?
And then I started thinking about it. I say, well, profanity, yeah, there's a little bit of it in there. Jimmy Stewart's a pretty clean guy at that point.
As to oppose it to having gay characters is filthy, dirty, and whatnot. Again, what are you talking about?
And sexual situations. You mean he's walking home with the girl from the pool scene, and she loses her robe? It's about his not. It's about his.
Oh, please. You Christians would just assume that anything and everything might be too risque. Even it might be just mildly suggestive, but even according to you, anything that's remotely too hot, too hot for TV, however that one phrase went, it's gonna be too much for you. Remember, like way back in the day, they used to say that. But when it comes to the what is it, those commercials called Playgirl or something like that? Yeah, those whatever. Point being, those kind of commercials or whatever, literally anything, even in a movie, it might be too risque.
Explicit as any movie's ever been. And I thought, and smoking? Oh, yeah, we got to warn people about that. So, one of the most classic, sweethearted, genuine kind of movies that's ever.
So having gay characters is somehow incapable of being genuine in a movie. What?
Come out of Hollywood. No, big warning signs. You may not want your kids to watch this stuff because it's got sexual situations and profanity.
And how has been inclusive means that you can't have a good story, you can't have good writing, you can't have good characters. What?
That sort of thing.
That's amazing. I do know that when I watch streaming services, once in a while there will be a wild mislabeling where a serious drama is thrown into the comedy category or something similar. So
This just feels like the past, the past, the past, the past, 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 past. Think about the past, think about the past. That's all you think about is just the past. That's it.
My only guess is that someone just behind the scenes messed up. Although the whole smoking thing, I've heard a lot. Where if there is smoking, you need a warning.
Again, I'm hearing just you're just missing the nostalgia. You're way back in the day. You missed that. That's not the Gates problem. You know that. They're not trying to take away your nostalgia at all.
Sorts, which is absurd, but that's what it is. So I'm gonna as soon as we sign off, I'm gonna go look at my Amazon Prime to find out about that because I just listen. We're in a crazy world. Everything's upside down.
Now, Christian,
Again, what are you talking about? Oh, everything's topsy turvy now. What does that even mean? It's weird that you're concerned with two adults are doing in the bed.
burned into my brain. I thought this is the last movie I thought I'd see a warning sign on. And I think there were four elements to it. One was sexual situations. And I thought, oh, yeah, boy, that.
What are you talking about? How? Well, I might even ask a question. I already know I'm not going to get an answer here. Can we just stick to one topic here, please? Let's stick to one topic.
It's a Wonderful Life. It's almost as bad as Game of Thrones. It's got so much sex in it. It's like, nah, I don't think so. I'm surprised they don't give you a warning. And it also has mentions of faith and Christianity and all that. How about John?
So let me get this straight. No pun. Pardon the pun, I guess. So if they include gay characters, it somehow translates to they want to destroy Christianity?
Schneider? What's happening with John Schneider right now from Dukes?
He was on social media, I believe X, formerly Twitter, as they say now, and he said something pretty crude about.
You realize just because you're Christian, that automatically does not make you a good guy. It could also mean anything when you think about it, but okay.
Biden and I believe Hunter Biden. He was referencing some of their actions of late, and listen, I don't support anything they've done politically speaking, but he said,
Again, for the 100th time, who's attacking you? Literally, who exactly is attacking you, really? Who? You're not explaining nothing.
he should be killed for treason. I'm paraphrasing it by not.
Killed for treason? Now we're talking about murder and betrayal and whatnot. Okay, and something with politics? What are you on about? What?
No, you got it right. He said you are guilty of treason and should be publicly hanged.
So being gay is equivalent to being dishonest. What do you mean? What do you mean exactly? How?
I don't do that kind of stuff because first of all, you can get a really unfriendly visit from the Secret Service
Yes.
if you
So being gay translates to unfailed business tactics. Again, what? I'm so confused here.
incredibly threaten a member of the first family and a number of other people. Even Kamala Harris's family is included in that, and is one of the few places where I agree with.
Again, what are you talking about? What does she have to do with anything exactly? It is so moronic.
Not having free speech to just say, let's go out and do these do violence to the first family. I don't believe in that. And I don't believe I believe in.
You realize those animal sacrifices in your Bible, right? You realize that. So you accept that, but not the other stuff. This is so weird. It's so weird.
Joe Biden on a legitimate basis, impeachment, indictment. I'd go for all those things, but he said you're guilty of treason, and I think he probably.
Are you referring to Donald Trump? Because he's guilty of a lot of things. I'm not going to list every little thing here because this video is already long enough as it is. Can we just wrap it up here?
Guilty of treason, but that kind of overt call for that just seems way out of line. So what's happening to him now?
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Why are we talking about politicians now? Presidents or whatever? I thought we were supposed to talk about Disney Plus and whatnot. But okay.
When Kathy Griffin showed that bloodied head of Trump, I
No.
believe that she was visited by Secret
was.
Service or something
Yep.
similar. Yeah, so that's certainly.
Oh my god, that's not the topic at hand here. I thought we were supposed to talk about Disney and gay people ruining everything. What? Huh?
But one thing I want to note is I want to, over the next few days, and I know it's a holiday season, so it's maybe trickier, but I want to see how the media reacts to it. And also, there were many, and I
still don't know how this is supposed to be correlating to what Disney is supposedly doing against Christians, but okay.
too, but there were many celebrities calling for Donald Trump's death over the last 6 years. Snoop Dogg did a video where it was like a Trump.
Okay, I doubt any of that happened, but what does this have to do with Disney? What exactly? How? How is this related to Disney?
Impersonator was shot at. I mean, so there was a lot of this going on. None of this is good. I'm the same way with you. There are a million words you can use about the president of the States.
Whether this is true or not, it's not correlating to Disney and the gay community. Either way, it's not connected. Ugh.
To go there, I'm fine with that line drawn in the sand. But I'm really curious to see what happens next, whether he does get attention, and because I think there's going to be.
So, gay people want attention is what you're getting at? Oh, what? I'm so confused here. What?
I think you're right. Christian, thanks a lot. That's Christian Toto from the Hollywood in Toto podcast. Coming up in a moment, we got a new Jim Gossett song, and 2 years old, kids playing out the Rosa Parks scene.
All right, that'll be it, folks. Yeah, that's where his little podcast, or whatever you call it, that's where this ends. All I got from this, already made this point. Stuck in the past, 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 stuck in. Did I mention stuck in the past? Also, yes, stuck in the past, stuck in the past, also stuck in the past. Oh yes, let's not forget about stuck in the past, stuck in the past, stuck in the past. Ugh. Jesus Christ. I know it has nothing. It has something to do with nostalgia, apparently, because apparently the homosexuals are trying to go after your nostalgia. I have a love-hate relationship with nostalgia, mostly hate, but I'm not the one that's trying to go after your nostalgia or anybody that's an ally or part of the community and whatnot in any shape or form. So again, what the hell are you talking about? Anyway, that'll be it, folks. So thanks for watching. See ya. Oh yeah.